Welcome,
wow.
guys,
Wala
to
ko si
USAP
Jack!
TADO. Hi,
Hello.
guys. Thank you for subscribing to us right now, no? Special episode tayo na yun. Today, we are with the WARTILYO
Woo!
boy!
That
So,
was sad.
ayun, no, nag-ano na yung mga comments,
Yan, so
oh,
we're joined
wow.
today by,
Where's the comment
dami
section?
puta. Pag Martilio, dami nanonood eh.
Oo nga eh.
So for those who are uninitiated, for the very few who are uninitiated, Wartilyo is the AOS wargaming group here in the Philippines. They organize a lot of events, they make a lot of content in the Philippines, and they are also breeding the talent here for global competition. That's why we invited one of the founders, Lance, and their talent for this year, or their best player, Mr. Nico, to join us on stream for some
Woo!
announcement and insights for global gaming on the tabletops. So medyo ano tayo, gaming oriented ang stream natin ngayon, guys. So I believe our Josh is still catching up. But while we're waiting, maybe you could, guys, Lance, Nico, you could give a little introduction of yourselves to our audience. Let's start with Lance, maybe.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Lance. I'm a member of WARTILYO. Just a quick correction. The funny part is Nico is actually the one who got most of us into AOS. So in my mind, he's the one who started WARTILYO. Although, like, we
The Boodle.
formalized as a group together. I'm really into Age of
True
Sigmar right
friends.
now. I think, yeah, because we were all friends from D&D, from the D&D community, and like right now I'm very passionate about Age of Sigmar and passionate about seeing Filipino wargaming be kind of exposed to the rest of the world, you know. And I think that with the internet, like there's a lot of opportunity for that. And yeah, that's about it. That's who I am.
Nice, nice, nice. How about you, Mr. Nico?
All right. And yeah, like Lance said, hi, I'm Nico. That's the most awkward intro I can give. But yeah, it's really different. It's really different when you see yourself on camera. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm Nico. Technically, yes, I did wrangle everybody, all these misfits together to play. All I wanted to do was just play with a couple of people, Warhammer, because I was very lonely.
Nice.
But it kind of grew out of control, I guess, in a good way. So I may have started it, but Lance is also the one that wrangled, organized us together because he's our dad. And yeah, so we're just doing this for the
Okay.
fun.
So
Look at
medyo funny pala no kung ganun. You basically invited everyone to play, tas ikaw yung nag-GT this year. So parang in-invite mo lang yung mga bano para matalo mo sila.
Wow.
Tapos play mo si
Whoa,
Tayo.
whoa, whoa.
I mean, from an outside.
The shade.
Nah, he said that. He said that, not
Yeah,
me.
I
I
know.
get that. I could be wrong. It's like a
Well,
poorly
no,
phrased
so-
infrared.
So what I'm very happy about though is that the Filipino community has grown in like size and skill over the years. So it's not always very clear cut for Nico to be the winner. It just so happens that this year he was. In 2022 though, like he was very dominant, and I honestly started calling the tournaments as an inside joke, like the Nico Charity Fund at that point. But I think as time went on, from 2022, 2023, 2024, there's a lot of players that have risen up the ranks to kind of match him, and I'm very happy about that. So it's not very clear cut. Nico's games can be kind of close nowadays, although of course you're definitely still up there, man.
Oi,
Yeah, just to
I
clarify
lost,
for the
I
people
lost
who
the
may
tournament
be...
that mattered. The last Atlanta
Oh,
tournament, I
wala.
lost that one. So that shows the community is really up there now.
Yeah. And you're not the first GT, Nico. There are several champions already that Wartilyo has crowned years before. And you're also not the first to be representing. So maybe later we'll be talking about it, but for the people who may not be or are aware, Nico is flying off to represent the Philippines as the second Pinoy that we're sending off. Tama ba? So
Yep.
congratulations.
For this
Um,
tournament,
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's an achievement Philippine Tados want to share, because our goal is to promote the painting skill and how we're viewed in the hobby community in the Philippines. And Wartilyo is doing the same thing in the gaming aspect. You guys are basically training talent and making global audiences see na hindi tayo we're not just a third world country, man. We're a third world country that can bite back. Vale,
Oh, man.
so
oh man,
Yeah.
if you could hear the stories about what people thought of us before when we first reached out to the global community, it's insane. I think Lance can tell you about that. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that here?
Well, no,
Sure
it's not
ba?
actually
Well,
controversial, but
Yeah.
not a lot of people, not a lot of people have
Yeah.
heard about the Philippines from the West. Actually,
That
you'd be surprised.
mhm,
No, that's
mhm.
true. I think that on average, okay, 99% of the time, everyone has been super welcoming and kind and trying to encourage us to send a team abroad and join worlds and stuff. And I think a lot of other countries are very inspired by the fact that I know for sure that some countries are inspired by the fact that when we sent Zami abroad last year, and this year too, we're pooling resources together just to send them abroad because not a lot of communities support their individual players
Exactly.
to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
as of right now, we're definitely like kind of an underdog, but at the same time, we're not. They don't want to count us out because this year, especially starting last year, we started having a bit more of an international presence.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We'll talk about that later,
Actually,
I guess.
yeah,
You guys can
that's
leave.
also why I sort of wanted to be active and online. Kasi I started the hobby in a space marine group na puro
Mhm.
Yeah.
kano. Puta, they thought that we couldn't even afford fucking Warhammer, man. I mean, tag ina
Sure.
yung mga to. Gago. So it's great that you guys have been doing that. But to start of the stream, guys, like in every Philippine TADO edition, we will talk about what we are currently hobbying on our table today. Maybe we could start with Kaizen, then me, then Nico, then Lance, and then if Josh catches up, we could come on board. So Kai,
See.
tell the people what are
Oh,
you working on besides the
No,
stream?
I'm working for my PSMS entry. Gonna be my new
Oh
proud and joy.
shit!
Oh,
Oh shit!
My
nice.
Entry na pala
area.
yan. Oh
oh,
shit!
Yeah. Diorama entry
Grabe.
actually. Ayoko makisabay sa mga gunpla builders. I'm not a great gunpla builder, but I'm good at making diorama. So, yeah, there you go.
Alright. Go to your strengths. So FYI guys, sa mga hindi pa na, actually you can't register anymore, but for people who
Yeah.
have not registered, you can still go to the event on August 1. It's
yeah.
an experience for the hobbyists kasi all
Yes,
the talent
very.
is there. You'll see a different side of the hobby besides the gaming.
I regret not
Um
signing up for that one, actually.
same. Wala
Why?
naka-gaming mode, naka-gaming mode siya na o ngayon
Gaming
eh.
mode na, oh.
Oo,
Hindi ko na kaya. I
oo.
can't do everything anymore in the hobby. I need to
I
give up
can't be
something.
yeah, it can't be a Vince Venturella.
Yeah.
But see, if you guys know Harold Soon, he's doing both. He's also a gamer, but he's also doing competitions for
Oh,
painting. But for my case,
I'm
what
back.
I'm doing now,
Whoa.
I'm magnetizing the bottoms of my Sif figures
Nice.
using
Nice,
roof
nice.
nice.
sealant. Yeah, so that's basically my boring task for today para
Ano yan?
maka-focus tayo sa stream. Ano yan?
Ano yan? Part of the... Because I know SIF goes into like slots, di ba? You're trying to magnetize it
Yeah.
into the tray.
Yeah, so if you don't, it's frustrating if you don't, if you're playing with the tray, wala siyang magnet. Pag ginagalaw mo siya, paminsan natatanggal lang.
Yeah,
Pag di
oo.
ka
Tapos,
magaling gumal, pag
maliit yung
clumsy ka.
maliit yung SIF models, di ba? So what's the size of those magnets you're using right now?
32 scale pa rin. They're just not heroic. They're realistic scale, but they're still 32.
Okay,
And then the
okay.
tray is like five by 4 inches. Mala ganun, 5.5 inches. Parang
Yeah, I know
ganun.
that the scale's a
Pretty
little
big
bit
tray.
smaller, no?
Yeah, don't worry, man. One of these days, we'll boodle you naman. We'll get back at you, and then you'll be the one to be
I
boodled
wanted
into Sif.
I wanted to buy Greyjoys na nga sa Whimsy Cafe. Kaso pinagalitan ako ni JP na we have to focus on the tournament muna. One game at a time muna.
Oh,
Tama
I'll
siya.
message JP now. I'll tell him right now that he's an
Yeah,
asshole.
tell
Sabihin mo sa kanya,
JP.
gago, JP.
The man didn't
Bubudulin
want
mo
my
na
money.
sa amin.
Wait,
Oo.
JP really said that? Focus on AOS?
Yeah, he told me that.
Oh,
Just focus on the games muna.
Wow. Surprising.
Nanta
But
muna.
yeah.
wow. Sige, sabihin ko sa JP. Give me the shake.
Oh, I lost
Okay,
the sale
exactly.
too.
Okay lang yan. Nico will do us proud. So, speaking of Nico, what do you have on your table today?
All right. So I just finished painting up Callus and how do I do this? Callus and Toll for my Cities of Sigmar army. Hindi masyado kita yung quality.
Dude, ang ganda ng OSL.
Ito yung OSM ni Toll.
Yeah, I saw to. Grabe.
Hindi masyado
The
kita
lighting
dito
on
with
that
the
lamp.
lighting.
Holy crap.
Wala, sira yung airbrush ko. I had to use a hand brush for everything.
Order na ng
Dang.
magandang airbrush.
Yeah.
I don't have the money anymore. I'm broke. I've been
Yeah,
buying.
you're fielding it sa cities army mo.
I am very tempted to run these nerd hunters because there are a lot of nerds right now in fourth ed, and we gotta get rid of all that magic because these guys are witch hunters. So we got.
Wow.
Ah.
Wow. You say that to my face, but okay. All right. Cool.
We were hurt.
But they're actually AOS.
No,
They're not like a war
kind
title
of,
or any of that.
because I'm painting Thousand Suns.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, these guys would murder them even though we don't have fantasy models.
Whoa. All right, buddy.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Very nice. Welcome back, Mr. Josh. So let's do Lance and then Josh last.
Sure.
All right. So, I actually haven't hobbied for a while just because I just got back. But the last thing I painted was a model I used for World. This is my Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Just slight kit bash with an Imperial Knight helmet, but besides that, it's your basic bitch generic Bloodthirster. So yeah,
Oh shit!
pretty happy.
Congrats on the kit bash, man.
Is that
Nice.
incessant rage right there?
Yeah, this is Insensate Rage.
Insensate
Boomthirster.
rage.
Mm.
Yep. That's it.
Alright.
That's the last thing I painted, and I'm gonna get back to it soon with 4th edition, I guess.
Ancestral rage.
Incest Rage, yes. As we
How hard
lovingly
this is
call
its
him.
actual name. We can just call it what we think it is, right?
Well, we just call it Boomthirster, which is fine too. But yeah.
That's true. We can call it that too.
Welcome back, Mr. Lance. Welcome back to the land of the third world.
Well, Dina man. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Josh,
Happy.
what do you have?
All right. Well, for the past couple of days, I've been painting terrain for Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Hmm.
But since it is almost August 1, I should probably be working on my IPMS entry.
Yeah, you should.
But me
Should.
being me, I'm gonna cram that like mga 3 days before the actual ingress. But a majority kasi of the IPMS entries ko I already painted. These were stuff I painted siguro in the past year. No, the one thing I'm painting specifically is Ariman for 40k.
Oh,
Nice.
But like, kasi ano eh, for a while I was like, I want to paint so many things, but then when the deadline looms, I'm like, you know what? I'll just paint this one thing and then enter.
Kram na yan, kram.
Yeah, it's a bad habit, but alas, wala eh. It's when the whim strikes me. So ayun.
Sometimes we do better
pero-
when we're under pressure, right?
Kaya nga, well,
Yep,
yes,
yep.
but also I'd like to think, I don't know, painting not under pressure also helps me. Na I'm painting for a game and not for a competition. But ayun, what else am I painting?
How many entries do you have?
This year, I'm including
Hmm.
Ariman, I'm entering 12 entries.
Ooh, nice.
Putang ina,
Nice.
gusto mo talaga manalo sa raffle, ha? Gago ka. Oh,
That's
Ako 14.
That is the best way to. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
Kai knows what's up. That's how you win the raffle.
yeah,
Enter.
Yeah.
the real meta
Ang
in
ganda ng
IPMS
raffle,
is
guys.
not to
Guys,
play,
ang gaganda.
it's just to do
ang ganda ng
raffle. That's the meta.
Paano yan? Like, how does that work? The more entries, the more chances lang talaga. Ganun yun.
Yes, the more entries, the more tickets you get for the
Yeah.
raffle.
Oo,
Pero
ang
ano,
daming.
How much does it cost to put 12 entries?
Kits, ha? They
in?
give you kit.
12
Paint,
12
kits,
entries is 1,000 pesos.
airbrushes.
Oh shit! Pero I don't even know how you guys have this. How you guys paint 12 entries for IPMS? Unless may ipon kayo, no?
You just
A year
submit
pa.
your,
Oh,
submit your
yeah.
existing model.
Kaya
So even if you haven't paid them for, you can just submit them.
Pwede naman, I
Ayun,
guess. You can enter like 12 individual models, no? Parang ganun.
something like
Yes.
Yeah, just
I
make
think-
them look
yeah.
distinct from one another
Oh.
para lang they can be a different entry.
I get it.
I'm
yeah.
entering stuff from all the game systems I play right now. So I'm entering stuff for MCP,
Hmm.
kind of 40K. I'm entering my Scarabacle Terminators and my Araman. Tapos Conquest stuff. And then ayun. Tsaka this year they let you enter old entries. So the stuff you've entered before,
Basta hindi nanalo.
basta hindi nanalo, basta
Kahit yung nanalo, bro, nakalagay. Kasi
Ah,
ibang
pwede, okay.
kasi ibang competition eh.
kasi siya
Fuck, I should have
just
entered pala. Putang ina.
Ayun.
I didn't enter a
Exciting.
single thing.
Okay, wait. Anyway, that's that's IPMS. No, we're here to talk about AOS, the fourth edition. It's
Woo!
here at last.
It's finally here.
Grabe.
Praise the Lord.
Oo, and grabe, ano, halos lahat ng stories on social media, they're posting about it now na, oh, get yours. Look
Yeah,
at all
dude,
these
it's
products we
crazy.
have. And I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. So,
Ang ganda
okay.
ng unboxing ng Wartilyo. Sobrang di barbaric at all. Ang galing.
Actually, tama yun. So, okay. So, in this episode nga, we're gonna talk about AOS 4th edition, but at the same time, we kind of want to focus as well on how the community, and specifically the Wartilyo community, has been doing over the past several months. No, so these two wonderful lads joining us here right now, they've actually been taking part in some tournaments and competitions these past several months, and they've come out winners in these competitions. No, so show your support in the comments below, and let's kind of have a chat about this. No, so I wanna start out with Lance, because his event just ended, and we're all like, it was huge news for us because you were in Amsterdam, right? You were in Amsterdam. You uh, uh, participated in the AOS
Competed.
World Team Championship there, no? But
Yeah.
you weren't under Team Philippines. You were under
No.
Team Australia. Can you tell us kind of how did that happen?
So last year, I was TOing pretty much every Wartilyo event, and I wanted to have some shot at competition. And one day, Patrick Mandapat invited me to join a tournament that was on Tabletop Simulator.
Mm.
And it just so happens to be around the same time last year that this happened. And the tournament was 4 Filipinos and 4 Australians. And if you get first and second place in that tournament, you get to fight the winners of America and Europe. So it was like this tiered system. And it just so happens that right after Worlds, I played against someone who was from Team Australia, and it just so happened to be their captain. So we played the game, and then that's how I got to meet them. After the tournament, I invited them on a scrim to play against a Team Philippines of sorts, or Team Wartilyo. I didn't want to call it Team Philippines because we didn't open it up to everyone. It wouldn't be proper. So it was Team Wartilyo versus Team Australia, and we thoroughly got our asses handed to us. Funny enough, but it was our first like real experience playing with people abroad. And after I joined several more tournaments going into maybe October, the captain told me that there was an opening for a mercenary, because you know how in basketball you have imports.
Yeah.
So Age of Sigmar World, so Age of Sigmar Worlds has a system where out of the 8 players that you send, 3 of them can be mercenaries if your team is having needs extra slots filled. So I was one of 3 different mercenaries who joined Team Australia, and it's been a big privilege for my end. Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing to say. I was a Filipino mercenary for the Australians.
Wait, so does that mean that there's not a lot of AOS in Australia na active players? Or sobrang galing mo lang talaga na natalo mo yung, they prefer the mercs over the local talent?
So that one has a whole backstory tied to that I don't really want to get in too deep into on stream. But the long and short of it is that stuff happened in Australia that the captain had a very specific training method. He believed that not only should you play games in person, but you should also augment your training with Tabletop Simulator. Because over the course of the past 6 months, we've done scrims against Russia, Germany, Spain, and even this monster team combination of Denmark and England called the Binformers, which is the combination of the best 2 teams in the world. And that kind of exposure is something you won't get by only playing the local scene. It's good to play your local scene, but if you don't, work your lists and your play styles around what people are seeing around the world, your list might come out a bit inbred. It's only got exposures to the same thing. It's only good at beating the local scene.
So the TTS was a big important factor.
Yeah. So the thing about our team was in that in that tournament, what was very special was that we were the only team, I think, who had not regularly met up in person. Like other teams have their local clubs, they just take a train to see each other. But the first time I ever saw them was when I flew in for that tournament.
Dang.
Yeah, so it was a crazy story.
And you guys placed, right? You guys placed third or something? Did you guys place?
No, we got fourth place, and we were 2 points away from third. Third place was Sweden. We had beaten them in the pairings before, and we were so proud of that because they're kind of a monster team with some players who are considered in the world stage as like gods, essentially. So we got fourth. We lost by 2 points, but we were also able to beat France and Poland, who I consider to be very top tier teams, and I'm very proud of that.
Sure. Nice.
Anong list?
Never got to personally thank you lang for having our t-shirts signed by Luis, by the way. Salamat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Sa akin
problem.
na pala, by the way.
Yeah, so
frame that.
this was actually Kaizen's idea because I told Louis, or I said in some comment that I would wear Philippine Dado's shirt on day one. But then I saw Kaizen comment, "Oh, I would like something signed by her or something," when I posted a picture of that she was in the vicinity. So I thought it would be nicer if I just had her sign the shirt instead of wearing it.
Thank you, bro.
Nice.
I love you. Thank you. Kaya actually, that shirt, what I'm gonna do with it?
Did she ask about us? Did she ask who the admins were? Well, I'm gonna know. You just sign our shirt.
So Louise is actually really nice. Okay, she is so bubbly and fun, and she owns every room that she's in. And I just told her that this was the local painting community, and she decided to write the message on her own. And she was really happy to know that she had fans from this side of the world.
That is
That
great.
shirt is, yeah, that shirt is legendary. So, ang gagawin ko sa shirt na yan, I will let Louis sign it. I will sign it, and Josh will sign it, and Milo would sign it. So, I want the founding fathers on the shirt as well.
Nice.
Para, commemorate the moment.
And Mars, of course.
Oh yeah, Mars. Yeah, pag uwi niya. Mars, if you're watching. Gotta sign the shirt.
But yeah, that's how I got in. I was invited last October, and it's been kind of a grueling. I started training really in February.
You know what? Sorry, can I just say it's really nice also that this WARTILYO started with Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
And this is how Lance ended up also in the global scene also, was because of Tabletop Simulator. We've gone full circle basically.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we started toward the tail end of the pandemic, and we were for the past few years we're trying to get people to play Tabletop Simulator, but it's just not something that clicks with people. I admit it's more fun to play in person, 100,000%, but there are certain types of reps, simulations, and models that you can use that's readily available on the internet right now, and I think that's one of our bigger advantage. Having access to that is a huge advantage.
Yeah, I mean, but one of the struggles we have when we want to pull people into Warhammer is they don't know what they want. They don't know what to buy. They don't know the game. Sometimes people have buyer's regret. I bought the wrong thing. Oh shit, I want this army pala. So they end up selling the army for cheaper than what they bought it for, right? So that's the beauty of Tabletop Simulator. It lets you parang test pilot muna some things before you commit to buying it.
That's true. Tsaka, I guess part of it no is yung tipong not be like information overload. You're at the store, you see all of these boxes, all of these factions look cool, but you don't exactly know which one you want. And you don't and sometimes you don't even know that certain units exist in certain armies unless you check the net for that. But then that's already when you're already into the game, though. So yeah.
Exactly. Lalo pa, no, it's really difficult to buy things. Lalo pa when the store manager's trying to raise you up pa into buying, trying to push other things on you. Nakaka-pressure.
So it's also good because there are times when it takes quite a bit of time for Warhammer to get to the country, and being able to test the models out as they're in transit is actually a good way to see if you want to buy it.
Exactly.
But okay, so what was your faction? I know your faction, but for the benefit of the audience, what was your list? What was your faction during the event?
So actually, what was my faction was very interesting because when they got me for the team, it wasn't very clear what army I'd be playing, and the team dynamic is so unique that I was bouncing between factions. All right, so initially they brought me in and they wanted me to play Seraphon, And then after that, they put me in Suns, Corn, Iron Jaws, and eventually, because of the last battle scroll that last patch update that came out, I got put into Corn. And I was playing kind of a a, li- a list that I think was popularized by the Germans. It is a Boomthirster list, so it's two Bloodthirsters in Scarbrand, and it has lots of different chaff going down the middle. So what I need to do is just screen out the Bloodthirsters and have the Bloodthirsters act like scalpels to take the enemy out.
Oh my god, 3 bloodthirsters, Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
that
something
list
you see
is
often, right?
um, it's an archetype that became a bit more popular recently, but it is one of the. I think it's a hard army to play because
Yeah, 'cause you're putting
it's
your
three
eggs in.
scalpels, right? They're really
Yeah,
soft.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because you're putting all your eggs into those bloodthirsters, right? So I mean, the minute they get shot off the board, you're just like
yeah,
how
you're
many
pretty
points?
much you're screwed.
300 points down the drain if they get shot off the board.
Yeah, and you lose so much you lose your hammers essentially, and that's really hard because you don't have a lot of staying power as Corn. You have a lot of chaff, and you are very bad at brawling, so you need to be a bit precise with the army.
Kind of funny.
Yeah,
Corn
so that's the
panel.
list. Yeah, I think. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is. I think in fourth edition, it's changed a lot though. Corn became really fighty, and I think it's gone a direction that I think um, the way the army is marketed because it was the way it played in third edition and the way I had to play it was very defensive. I played more like a blue magic deck. It's very controlly,
Mm.
which is antithetical to Corn, like or the way
Yeah,
it
that was
looks, right? Yeah.
blue pero corn.
Skull
Yeah.
for the skull. Yeah, it's basically blood for the blood god, right? Skull for the skull throne. Tapos here's you dancing away from the enemy, not towards him.
Yeah, no, that's basically most of my game plan. It's splitting my opponent's army up and then slowly chipping away at vulnerable points with the bloodthirsters, and then slowly grinding them out. One of the advantages of Corn in the team setting, and obviously not updated for fourth edition anymore, was that when it wins, it doesn't win by a lot because it operates best on the third, fourth, and fifth round. But it also loses by just a little. So it's a very good thing that you sacrifice. It's a very good army to sacrifice in drafting. So there's this whole dynamic of drafting and
Mm.
like pairing, sort of like with League of Legends, where you ban champions and you pick matchups. That's a really important skill to learn in team games. So yeah,
Mm.
that was my army. Sorry, in very
Okay,
many
so
words, that's my army.
so speaking of team games no, as a member as a merc for Team Australia, can you tell us like what was your I guess your entire team's play style slash goals for the event? Like like in terms of training, how you guys were doing it. What were your go to things in the actual games in the tournament against other players? Like what were their lists, for example?
All right, so I'm gonna go over factions because if I talk about lists, I will be here forever.
Yeah,
So
factor.
yeah. If we can we pull up the picture with the team just so that I don't miss anyone?
Sure.
Thank you. So on the far right of the picture is Ray, and he plays Nurgle.
Right.
He's known as he drives a school bus, and he's known as the bus driver in the international scene. So it's really funny. So he basically you're fighting him, you're going under the bus. The guy next to him, I'm going from right to left, is the guy on the guy next to him is Jordy. He was playing Seraphon. The guy with the big beard with the top knot is one of our coaches. His name is Nick, but we call him Russell because he loves Russell Crowe. And he and Nico, who I'll talk about later, showed me how important coaching is in team events. Like I had it, Russell was the one who did all the psychological stuff. Like after a game, he'd make sure you're okay or in process winning or losing in a healthy manner between fights, so we're all hyped up and psyched up. The guy next to him is Stu. He's my captain, and he played Skaven, and he's such a legendary player. He's really good. Actually, everyone here are really good. It's just that Stu is like one of our big strikers. Um,
Mm.
Liam does the guy in the middle with the tattoos is Liam. The one behind he plays Slanesh. The guy behind him is Orkman, his Peter, but we call him Orkman, and he's from Hungary. He played Big Wa, one of the best orc players in the entire world. So he's recognized from Europe as a guy who drives to other countries and just um, wins tournaments, basically. The guy
Wow.
next to him is Nico, the one who's taller than me. He's an IP lawyer, and he's the other half of the coaching staff who makes sure that all of us have our tokens. He reviews hours of gaming footage that we record for him on OBS, and he comments on what we could change and what kind of mannerisms we could improve on based on that. Like, what words should we use? Like, what kind of body language certain things might translate to? Like that it came from a lot of it came from him. The guy in front of him with the white beard uses Caradron. Used Sylvaneth, and the guy to my right, to my left in this picture, I guess, is Matt. The guy with the white beard's Nathan. He has Sylvaneth, and the guy to my left is Matt, and he had Sons of Behemoth. The Behemoth, lol. Okay, Giants. So that's what everyone was playing, and we didn't have a specific play style, but there are teams who are very collaborative. But in this particular case, we were counting on the skills and expertise of the coaching staff and our captains too to do the pairings for us. And because we've gone through so many tournaments, we just don't question it. We just trust him. And he pairs for us, and we got to fourth place. So you were asking about what goals we had. Everyone came into this with different goals. Me personally, I wanted to beat Spain in America, and if you've read the history book, you can understand why. Ray, and we did, by the way. So and Ray on the far right, like he just wanted to get top 4, but everyone else in the Australian team wanted to beat 11th because for the past 2 years, Australia was stuck at 11th place, and it was sort of becoming a curse at that point, and all of them just wanted to break the curse and get 10th and higher. So we were so close to getting podium, but 4th place was something that was something we're very proud of.
Yeah,
we weren't expecting to do that well, honestly.
Yeah,
well,
dude,
I wasn't. It was.
That's so leap, man. Grabe.
Yeah. It was really good. The experience was so good. The team was very welcoming and very kind, and I have nothing bad to say about them at all.
All right.
So, just a question, like about the coaching. I find that interesting. So the coach, he's also a player also. So in between, he can't coach you during the match. He comes in between.
So in World Championships, AOS Worlds, there's a mechanic called timeout. Since you're on the chess clock, you could spend time on your clock to talk to your coach. This is actually a very important part of the team match because the coach is the one who travels around and he sees how each team member is doing. So he can advise you to go all in or to play defensively depending on how many points you're going to need to win a round. This is not just wins and losses. Every time, the way the score is computed is based on the difference between your score and your opponent's score. So there's a very deep component for, like, let's say I play Korn, right, and I fight a matchup I'm bad at. I fight Slanesh or Suns, and it's not necessarily that I'm likely going to lose that fight because those are armies that defend well into certain missions. But my job is not to beat it. My job is to lose by maybe 1 or 2 points because I'm turning a bad matchup into a medium matchup.
Oh, that's smart.
So but he still plays his own matches, or he doesn't play the whole day. He just takes care of everyone.
He takes care. So Nico, he does the full logistics thing. Like, in case I was missing any models for my army, I tell him that, and what he does is he pulls a model out of his collection, he paints the model up, and brings it to the world so I can use it. And not yeah. So that's one. Russell, on the other hand, the guy with the beard and the top knot, his job, he was very instrumental in raising so much money for the team. So he paid for a lot of our expenses through clubs and fundraisers all over Australia, him and Matt. And he also traveled all throughout Europe over the course of the year because of an interesting work situation he and his partner have. And he was able to meet all the other European teams and then do some research on them.
Damn, dude. And there's no limit to how many coaches you can have on a team.
The limit is 10 players. So Russell is not just a coach. It just so happens that he's an assistant coach and also a backup player in case one of us gets sick or can't make it.
Oh.
Yeah, so another role that is being popular in Europe now is that the captains no longer act as players. A lot of the times the captain are just non-playing captains and their focus is purely on matchups. So there's a very interesting and I think deep system for how team tournaments are conducted for Warhammer.
It's when the teams are matched up, the captains pick who play.
Yeah, so the captains and the coaches sit down on a table, and then they draft us like cards. So round one,
but you don't play for the whole day. If the okay matchup mo, possible yun.
So what happens is there are 2 rounds in a single day, and each round is allotted 4 hours for a single game. That's including pairing already. So the captains have an incentive to make it a bit faster.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is not really about the tournament itself, but it's more of the logistics, no? And I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
a lot of people, especially since syempre, miniature painting community kami, we want to take care of our miniatures. But
Right.
ano yung process mo? Like, how do you transport your miniatures abroad?
You're
Kasi
gonna hate
syempre, a
this.
lot of us have like,
With a lot of bubble wrap. Okay, so one thing I'm very notorious for
Check in
is
or
that
hand
I don't
carry?
take. Oh, I hand carry it. I put it in like a rolling luggage, a rolling hand carry,
Mm.
and I just cram it all together, and I put them in a bubble wrap, and then I just fix them when I get to the hotel.
It's horrible to look at. I mean, it's painful to look at also because as hobbyists, right? Tayo, we're like really
Yeah,
nitty
you
with
love
our
your
paint
minis.
jobs. Yeah, we love our
Okay
paint
lang.
jobs.
We saw
See
naman
For
how
that
you
me,
open the Skaven Tide box eh. So we get it. We get it.
yeah,
yeah,
for
Yeah.
me, all my models are there to die for me. So
just like corn,
That's
exactly
true.
like
Solid.
corn.
That's true.
yeah,
Solid,
So,
I'm a
so,
bad,
solid.
uh,
I'm a
so
bad
I
person to
noticed.
ask. I'm a really bad
So
person to
I
ask.
noticed some of the minis you showed in your box, but gray pa sila. Was there a color requirement? Was there a painting
Ah,
requirement?
yeah. So everything needs to be fully painted, and the models in the box are great because that's not what I brought, but I carry them in a similar container.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, makes
so it was
sense.
all
Makes sense.
crammed together so that there's no moving in the plane, and most of them
Mm.
came out intact, so I was okay with it. There is a painting requirement. In fact, Louise actually was the judge for all the armies, and she was the one. Like you,
Woo!
if you wanted, if you liked your army, if you felt your army was a contender, after she walks around, she picks certain armies, and they would be put as the top five, and then everyone gets to vote on it, and then they put a score up. So there is high stakes because winning a painting competition like this isn't just winning for yourself, but you're winning it for your country and what is like the Olympics of Warhammer, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a big deal for them.
It's flattering.
All right.
Also, if she picks you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very flattering. I wouldn't. If she just picked me as top five, I'd be happy even if I lost. I'd be like, yeah.
Like there was an army that was supposed to be picked for top five, but from what I remember, it wasn't painted by the actual player. So what she did
Uh,
instead was, hey, I can take a picture with like they had the she and the player had the idea of just getting a picture with the model, so that the player can show that the commission painter that she loves their models.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Credit
it's
for
so cool.
credit's due, basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
okay. So we're talking about Team Australia. We're talking about Amsterdam. In your opinion, moving forward, possible Team Philippines?
All right. So the way that they determine the location for this is similar to the Olympics, where several countries will offer a bid in order to compete for being the hosting country. And then if they win the bid, it'll be up to them to provide the hotel, provide the terrain, the tables, all the logistics and such, right? And the rest of the community will
Mm-hmm.
just pool money together from all over the world in order to make that happen. So I think if Team Philippines has can happen, and if we get like big corporate sponsors, I think the healthiest thing to do is wait for a year where the host country isn't so expensive, one, and then pick
Mm.
maybe three mercenaries so that we will only have to focus on sending five people. But that's the dream. I think it's probably more practical for us to go for countries that are closer or try to talk to
Yeah.
people from Asia, because I've actually talked to some folks from Asia when I was there, and I
Vietnam.
think that there is a lot of opportunities in the near future for
Mm.
sure.
Itong Worlds competition, was this only ever in Europe or were there ever Asian venues for it?
There's never an Asian venue because there's never an Asian team yet.
Ah, I see, I see.
And after the bids come out, maybe it cuts the top three and then people will vote. And most of the countries being European will probably vote for a European
Mm.
country. So
European
because
countries.
so this is to the detriment, I think. Realistically, this is to the detriment of America, Canada, Australia, and other countries that are far away because they have to pay more to go, right? But
Mm.
in
Yeah.
Europe, you just take a train and you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I
That's
mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just reality, you know.
yeah, it's reality.
If the
Yeah.
majority's there, right, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oo. Ito naman.
But like just to add to that question, because I'm also curious, Nico and Lance, you have good exposure to the global tournament scene, and you know what it's like to play tournaments here. With the coaches alone and the roles and what you experience in the Australia team, what do you think needs to happen here for us to come up with a Philippine team that will be sort of at par with what you guys have seen? Like,
barring
what does the community need to do to come up with a
Barring
Philippine
ano,
team that
barring
competes?
transport costs.
all right,
Yeah,
assuming that we had
like the
infinite
skill
money, right?
level and like culture wise.
Right. So assuming we had infinite money, like
Yeah.
the first step is that we need to start learning how to play with chess clocks. I think that's very
Mm.
important because they're very strict. There's a whole psychology and training that we had to undergo for how to manage the chess clocks and how to play with project a certain level of confidence while playing, so that the opponent doesn't bite into some psychological weaknesses. Like our Russell was talking, had a lot of focus on like culture and like which cultures like to tell jokes when they're nervous, which cultures are very strict with movement, what is like what country places emphasis on like the order of movement and stuff, which ones are more loose. So for us to play at that level, I think we need to start playing on TTS a bit more, so we're exposed to other countries, exposed to more ideas. But we're also like, one of the other issues we had was we had a 2-year lockdown, and we had a bit of a late start compared to other countries. I think if we continue to grow, keep an open mind, keep playing games, and not get stuck in and not get stuck in the idea of like being the best in among ourselves, like I think we can move forward. And another thing, sorry, I have to tack this on. One thing that I notice about other countries is that they have a great national pride and they work together. I'll give you two examples. Poland has an ELO system. They developed an app made by AOS players that records every tournament result, and they use that to kind of track the progress and have data analyzing what the meta is like and which players are good. France is another really good example because they've elevated Warhammer to an esport thing, where during Worlds they brought their own streaming team, they brought a lot of assistant coaches, and they brought several people to play in singles and sort of like bring up the national pride. Every tournament in the French scene sort of contributes to the 8 members that they send to Worlds. So it's like fighting the
Right.
entire country.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sila ba yung may
So it's like
may nutritionist, tama ba?
But no, I didn't say that. Sorry. But more of the people cheering for them and supporting them and such. Like,
so parang what I'm getting kasi is tayo when we think tournaments, when we think GT, it's like my list versus the guy I normally play with at my
yeah,
FOGS. So parang what
yeah,
I'm getting is whenever a foreign country does a GT, they make a list to contribute to their global data that will be sent for their team's representative. Parang ganon.
yeah.
Wala pa
Each
tayong like
country,
unified competitive mindset. Parang
no,
ganon.
no, because as of until recently, I think we've been playing mostly against each other, which is not really a bad thing because the reality is it is expensive for us to go abroad. It's really hard, right? So for us to be able to send people abroad, it needs to be a concerted effort as well. And I don't blame people for having that mindset. It's just that the opportunities haven't really exposed themselves until recently. One thing I'm very proud of, and Nico brought this up earlier, is that there's an all Filipino team competing in a team tournament that's hosted on Tabletop Simulator. So that's the first time we've had an all Filipino team doing it, and I'm really excited to
Solid.
see how they do.
Hmm.
I'm currently with another
Congrats.
team, but it is what it is.
Is that also Wartilyo or there are other non-Wartilyo members?
No, no, Lance joined
Non-Martillo.
another
It's a
team because
mix.
we're not good enough for him. The
No,
joke lang.
I got I invited you guys to join. Okay, you guys, you had wet feet. You specifically had wet feet. So you don't. It's
Hugas
not on me.
kamay. Hugas kamay. Okay.
Damn you.
So that's interesting to note because I know a lot of the members here are competitive players, but maybe what I like about this conversation we're having is if you're a member of the community, Warhammer, AOS, it might be a good shot to start exposing yourself to international players. Because TTS is such an accessible
Don't phrase
thing.
it. Don't phrase it like that. Exposing
What do you
yourself.
mean? Sorry, ano ba?
Exposing yourself.
Well, ako kasi I'm just exposing myself eh. So,
Yeah.
it's my only vernacular at the moment. Yeah, so, but you guys get what I mean, di ba? Kasi kami as painters, we have trouble, we have a similar trouble na we don't have access to fly ourselves to Golden Demon and get the Slayer sword and all that shit, di ba? I mean, it's quite similar, but I think the advantage that people have here as gamers is there's a group entry na you guys could go in as a team. Wala namang team painting competition eh. I think that's an advantage that we can take take a practice
I,
of matatawa
uh,
pa ako.
honestly, one thing that I noticed, and I see this a lot on Twitter, and I'm forced to engage with that social media because that social media platform, because a lot of people, oh, sorry, X, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
post their miniatures there and talk about like the meta there. I think that for painting, especially since that everyone loves a good, well painted model, just keep posting things on social media, on Twitter or like Instagram, and I think people will you'll slowly grow in notoriety. I think it's gonna be
Shy
good
kami.
because that's how we did it too. We're just loud on Discord. We're loud on Twitter. We're loud. Well, not Instagram. I don't have Instagram, but yeah, those two, and that's how we get to talk to people.
Yeah.
Nice.
All
Nice,
right.
nice, nice.
Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much. No, thank you so much, Lance. No.
Yep.
Now let's shift questions to another person who, in a couple of months, is himself going abroad to compete. No.
Yes.
So, hello, welcome, no, Nico. So, we want to start things off. No, in the GT last February, you have the distinction of being the best general and the best painted army in the event. That is huge, dude. So not only are you
Team
sound
South, let's
tactically,
go.
not
Whoa.
only are you sound tactically, but you're sound in the aesthetics as well. So, Kaizen, if you can flash his squigs, his squigs on screen, no?
That sounded so wrong for a
Hashtag the
second.
Vince
Flash
Venturella
my
of the
squigs,
Philippines,
Kai.
pare.
Flash
Okay,
my colorful squigs.
you're very
Yeah.
colorful squigs. Ako, when I was talking to my girlfriend about it, I don't know, that's Usharan.
There
But that's
you
There you
also a
go.
very
go.
nice looking Usharan. When I was talking to my girlfriend about it, I was like, yung squigs ni Nico, mukhang, alam mo yung thumbs up ice cream? Yung ano, yung parang,
Yeah.
Dippin'
yung
dots,
nasa
pare,
palette,
dippin' dots.
di ba?
You know what?
Maliliit na ano.
You know what inspired me actually for these colorful squigs? It's speaking of
Yeah.
ice cream, sorry. Dippin' Dots.
There you go.
Oh, that
Fucking
makes
balls of
sense.
ice cream. Tiny balls of ice cream, man.
Yung rainbow Dippin' Dots flavor. I love those
Oh,
as a
man.
kid.
That was the shit, man.
That was the
Okay,
shit.
so,
Oh my
like,
god.
so I guess that was the inspiration behind the army, yung ano, yung
No,
Dippin' Dots,
actually,
no?
sadly, the inspiration was Skittles because you know the phrase "taste the rainbow," but this time the rainbow tastes you because they're squigs. So they eat you.
Very nice. Very
That
nice.
is poetry right there. That is poetry. Okay, so I want to know for this, no, for that competition, what is your army composition? At that time, at least.
Oh, at that time, a shit ton of squigs. I'll keep it simple. It's just a shit ton of squigs.
Just a shit ton of squid. Okay,
Just a shit
all
ton of
right.
squigs. As you can see on the board, it's just all squigs. I had like 5 goblins, I guess, and then everything was squigs.
Is that a unique list, or like did you think of that yourself, or was that the meta that other squig players were using?
Apparently, according to other people, that it was really broken back in that time. But it's not easy to play
Yeah.
because the list is really strong. I'll give it that. It's very strong. It's almost broken if it goes right. Because
Yeah. Okay.
because the army I played back in the GT is very unpredictable. It's a lot of RNG. It's a lot of dice roll. So you gotta plan around bad luck also. You know.
Gambling list, basically.
It's a gambling list where you have to hedge, you have to like make your own luck with this army. So it's notorious because it's hard to get rid of by itself because it's a lot of bodies on the board. But if one thing goes
Mm.
wrong, if you play it wrong, if you miss position, it falls apart really easily also. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me a lot of times.
Would you say that your list is a bit of a, at that time, kind of a meme list because it's literally all squigs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I think it's a meme list because it's funny when I win.
Yeah. But this is the army that's on display at Arcom, if not corrected. No? Your championship belt and your army is on display at Arcom Las Piñas. Tama ba?
Yeah. Oh. Pero sadly,
Yeah,
I
so if
skipped
you
that
guys want to
army.
see it in person, just go to Arcom.
Someone scratched my belt, by the way. But yeah, joke lang.
Oh?
Hassle.
The joke lang. But the fun story is I sold that army actually after the GT.
Oh shit.
Nabenta.
Who's it? Okay. To
I
who? But it's still on display.
uh well, I can't ask this person to keep it on display anymore because here's
Ah,
the thing. But to be fair, I'm really happy with the people who got it. I know I'm going to see it around pa rin in the community.
yeah.
Alam mo, it's like
Baka
passing
you'll
the
fight
torch.
against it one day.
Oh yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down to fight it. I'm down to eat my own words when I play against it.
You're
You'll
fine with
finally
being,
taste the rainbow, pare.
yeah,
I'm gonna
you're fine
taste
with
the
being tasted by the rainbow.
Oh no,
Yes, yeah.
That
we've come full
okay.
circle.
That's interesting to me. Now you sold itong army mo. Like that kind of leads me into into my next question. No? So
Okay.
you're flying off this November, I believe, right? You're flying off this November. Um,
Yep.
since you sold, I take it iba yung dadaling mong list, iba yung dadaling mong army.
Yeah, I'm bringing a completely different army. So for the GT, I brought a really random army, a very wild, wacky, zany army. So
Yeah.
for the GT, for the tournament in Atlanta, I'm bringing Cities of Sigmar, I call it a big brain army because it's not something you can play like Gloomspite gets. You gotta be careful with it. It's the rules are complicated. There's a lot of it's like clockwork. Everything has to go properly. You're sequencing, you gotta move properly in this certain order if you want to make things work. So it's kind of a challenge to me because I just really love running forward and killing stuff.
Mm-mm-mm.
So this one I need to play carefully. I need to I need to position like this. I need to block with this. I need to screen with that. Alam mo yon, you're playing
Oo,
Imperial
oo.
Guard in 40k.
Totoo, that's cities. They are the IG of ano.
Yeah, we're
They are
humans.
the,
I play a fantasy game, but I decided to play humans.
yeah, yeah. And I believe I've heard kanina you were saying na you really do feel like a human because if you check their stats compared to everyone else in the ano, compared to
Oh
everyone
yeah, no,
else in the US.
dude. If you look at our stats, you really do feel like a human amongst gods, talaga. Because the stats alone are horrible. They're dog shit. If you look at orcs, if you look at ogres and gargants, all these cool ass models, they hit so fucking hard. And then you see Cities of Sigmar. Oh, look at me with my measly one damage like whack with no rend. I shoot you at I shoot you in fours and fours, but I miss
Oh
all my like
god.
60% of my shots.
Oh wait. I want you guys to know he has like 40 guns in that one, right? Like he's being a little disingenuous about being kind of harmless and being the underdog in this one.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that, Lance. Because that's what I wanted to ask. Then, what is their strength? What is how does City of Sigmar? How do you do?
Parang tayo mga Pinoy. Ang strength namin resilience.
I,
Oh my god.
okay. Oh my
Very
god.
You know
resilient
what?
in Cities of Sigmar.
So
No, seriously though. If you
So
look at the rules,
yung
they're
base
one
ng
eight.
team mo nakabaha sila? Flooded ba?
Ano,
Water
sorry.
bases na sila? Water bases ba yung mga ano mo? Cities of Sigmar mo? Binabaha?
No, but seriously, if you look at Cities of Sigmar, yung stats nila, they're deceptively tanky. You'll notice that they have 1 HP each. So they'll die to a stiff breeze, supposedly. And then for some reason with all these defensive buffs, yung resilience nila, they're really hard to shift off an objective once they're on the objective. If they get on it, by the way. If
oh
they
my
get
god, parang ano lang, agawan ano lang tawag doon.
patintero or agawan ng ano yung tawag din yung game na yan.
Yeah,
No, agawan base or something?
agawan base.
Yeah,
That's
agawan
what-
base ata eh.
But I mean, look, these guys have stumpy legs and they're carrying big shields. If you read the books, they even complain about how heavy their shields are. That's like the most human thing you can do.
Mm-mm. Okay,
No,
Okay
so,
lang?
yeah.
okay.
No,
So I
go
want to
ahead.
ask, during the GT, noong February, how was your gaming experience then compared to everyone else? What were your matches and what were I guess what armies did you feel like you kind of struggled with at that point?
Oh man. You know what? Funny story. Lance knows this because I came from work the night before the GP and I stayed over at Lance's place and I just told Lance I just want to get this over with. I don't care if I lose.
No,
Because
dude, you super care if you lose. Shut up.
no, I was at that no. Hear me out. For that entire year, I was on a losing streak with Gloomspite Gits. I didn't win a single tournament with Gloomspite Gits. I felt very like okay, I'll just have fun and ganon. And then yeah, it worked out, I guess, in the GP. No, come
For,
on, that's true.
for further context, you got second place in like 3 tournaments leading up to that.
Yeah, and that's not winning.
Okay.
If you're not first, you're last.
I
All
just want to
right.
provide the audience with context.
All right, all right, all
Mister,
right.
if not, you're not first, you're last.
I see the kind of complex Nico might have, but all right.
Yeah, grabe kasi
Yeah.
yung pressure eh. Because I've been into the tournaments where Nico is at the top table. And the first tournament na I judged for Wartilyo was yung grabe yung yung nood din ng mga audience, like it was you and JP for the ata yun, the last table. They were like, you want to see you lose.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't them. It was that the tournament where you were judging. The last table was Zami versus JP because in the previous
Yun!
round, unfortunately, Nico lost to JP in that one. So
Yeah,
yun,
because
okay.
somebody let him borrow an army. A certain
Hey,
somebody who shall not be
Oh,
named
them-
right now.
what's
Them
funny is
spider
it's not
lords.
me. It's not me. Even if he's. It looks like without context, it sounds like he's blaming me, but it's not me.
It's not Lance. It's not Lance. It's our
Yeah,
intern.
good. Thank you. Good.
It's our Wartilyo
yeah.
intern.
But if if people are around, you should guys check out Wartilyo tournaments. They're really fun. Especially hanging out with the other players. Ooh, I really want to join next time. As an observer, of course.
Well, no, wait. Please, hold on. Recorded to. Recorded to.
Warhammer ka, poser ka.
Ayan, guys,
Warhammer
guys,
ka.
Ayan, si Kaizen
Honorary
mag-Warhammer na.
lang. Honorary lang. Sa
Nope,
painting.
walang honorary.
Gago,
dito.
mag-Warhammer ka.
Guys, I have no talent in being like a general. I don't think it's a game for me. I cannot
Ako rin naman,
think
hindi naman
that
ako magaling.
anymore.
We'll make it a game for you.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
make it again. Okay, so
Kai's in the
You
line of fire right now.
you mentioned you mentioned kanina you mentioned Zami, who was the previous representative of the Philippines
Right, yeah.
to the championships. Now, because we're in this weird situation, we're in this spot na you placed at the end of third, and now it's a whole different edition. It's now fourth edition AOS.
Yeah.
What do you how do you expect kind of the meta to change once you're there, especially when you're at the championship level? What are you expecting, or what are you hoping na mangyayari for this current list that you're bringing?
Well, one thing I'm expecting my teeth to get kicked in the international tournament, but I'm gonna have fun doing it. I'm gonna try my best, even though I hate the meta right now in fourth ed. Well, there's no meta in fourth ed right now. There's no
I was gonna
meta
correct you.
yet.
There's no meta yet.
There's no meta,
No meta
yet.
yet.
But the fact that Magic is so rampant right now, I hate Magic. I really hate the unpredictability of
Well,
Magic.
To be specific, you're going to create the meta once Worlds happens.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
refuse to bend to the Magic meta if there is one. If what I believe is correct, I just want to bring Wizard Hunters. I want to bring Priests. God's on my side, not Magic.
Wait, to clarify, the new edition just came out. And then you're coming into a tournament with the new edition rules already. Ganun ba yan?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's why.
Gago! Good luck
That's
sa'yo,
why I
pre.
couldn't practice before pa. Kasi trust me, if this was third ed sa Atlanta, I would have been practicing way long ago. I wouldn't, then I'd be really polished na because I've joined the GT, I've joined several tournaments, but this is fourth ed, so it's a new game for everyone.
Yeah. But that's also an advantage for you
Season-
though, right?
season
Because everyone
reset,
else
yeah.
hasn't had as much time to
Same
cook.
boat.
Yeah.
So are you following like a player right now online na sinestalk mo yung YouTube niya para malaman yung list niya or gameplay style? Are you doing any of that research or no time for that shenanigans?
You know what? Unlike Lance is a lot more involved with the global scene. I really like to keep to myself. As competitive as I am, for as competitive as I am, I want to win with what I have. As much as possible, I don't want to buy things I don't want just to win. If
Okay.
you
Mm.
tell me, if you tell me Cities of Sigmar is only viable because I need elves, I refuse to buy elves. I have this whole backstory about not playing elves. I
Ah,
absolutely hate elves. Short story, reason why I hate elves. I loved elves as a kid. I told my dad I wanted to cosplay Legolas, but he said there are no fat elves.
So
God
Oh,
dang, dude!
no!
uh
Solid
yeah,
tatay mo,
so
dude.
you know, I think you
Such a
brought this up.
burn.
No, that's it's okay. It made you a better person. You're not an elf player. You're fine.
Yeah, ever since then, I refuse to
So
touch
kaya
elves, no
pala
matter
may
if
Can you
they're
daddy
imagine?
issues ka, tapos tinatawag mong dad si Lance. So medyo
ano,
You could
ano.
dad
have
figure ba si Lance?
you could have been a Lumineth player.
I could have in another life. I could have
Yeah.
if I lost weight maybe when I was in when I was in high school.
Or I don't know if you had different like a different set of formative years or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But like
maybe.
um
that's such that's a very alam mo yung mga tournament animes like Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot. Kung ano yung gamit nila, they kind of physically represent that thing that they play. That'll be interesting.
Magkaka-flashback si Nico
If
sa
you're
last roll niya.
No,
like if you're
exactly right. What I play will represent who I am. I play
oh,
humans. I play humans because I'm bland as fuck. I love vanilla ice cream, but I also play dwarves because I love to complain.
you've also played Squigs because
you like tasting the rainbow.
Yeah.
you like rainbow. You like rainbows.
You like
I love the
rainbow.
randomness of squigs. I really love how unpredictable they are.
Um, Louis, just for the spiciness factor of it, I'll answer like a question you asked Nico. I am following certain people to kind of gauge what the meta is like, and I do have a bunch of sparring partners lined up for him.
Oh no.
You,
Damn,
we're
dude.
gonna
Ang
get you some
swerte mo kay Daddy Lance mo,
we're
pare. Your
getting you some
dad's taking
quality
care of you, man.
matches. We're getting some
Yeah,
quality matches for you.
Lance is throwing me in the pool to teach me how to swim. Yun yung nangyayari dito eh.
No, but
Oh,
we
when has
need
that
that.
deterred you
We need
before?
that. Yeah. Lose now so that you don't lose later in the tournament, man.
And it's true. You know what? As much as I joke about getting my teeth kicked in, I think I could beat some of them. I think I could. I'd like to
No,
think so.
I know you can,
Aw, see, Daddy
I
Lance
think.
has your back.
but you
Oh,
have to work. But you have to work hard.
Yeah,
oh
that's right.
no!
You
He's
get
telling me to work hard now.
Yeah, no, you can. I can 100% say that that you can beat a lot of them. I just think you need to work hard and learn the meta a bit more. That's it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
That's why I've been playing. Well, I mean, since Fourth Ed came out, I've played 4 games now only.
yeah. It
Pero
came
I
out like
think I'm
five
getting
days
a hang
ago.
of it.
So
Sorry.
sorry, it came out 5 days ago, which is good. You've been playing lots of reps, putting lots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
reps in.
So I guess the next step talaga is to play somebody abroad. I think after 2 more games, I'd feel more comfortable to play abroad
Are
now.
you are you are you, are you guys worried na baka in the time now that you're practicing games with fourth edition and November na magkaroon bigla ng ng rules updates or ng stat changes bigla that might ruin what you're currently working on right now?
I guess that's always a worry, no? That's always good to be a worry about being an AOS player. But rare naman talaga na magkaroon ng drastic changes yung
Mm.
rules. Because the rules just came out eh. The most that can come out is how many months do we have until November? 3 months, no? Tama?
For
3 months?
Yeah,
yeah,
well, if you count this, it's 4 months. Yeah.
yeah, 4 months.
4 months. I think the worst that can happen is siguro nerfs. Yan yung medyo masakit.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Like what if the one thing I love gets nerfed? Like suddenly 120 points naging 150, then my list changes basically.
Yeah. So for context, my list, the list I had been practicing for 5 months leading up to
Yeah.
Worlds, was nerfed 2 weeks before list submission. So in that 2 weeks, I was literally playing like 4 different other armies to test what would stick better for pairings. So yeah, that's basically what the scramble is going to be like if they change the rules right before. But because GW is the one running this event, I'm pretty sure they're going to release the rules maybe the next patch, maybe 1 to 2 months before their own tournament. Because if they release it like a month before their own tournament. That's insane. Like I don't think
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So there's no okay. So I guess there is no threat naman na drastic na bigla. And I guess, as a good player, you're always like trying to keep yourself on your feet when it comes to these kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And like your army doesn't revolve on this one thing. You need to be a bit, versatile for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
sa, sa totoo lang, it's part of the game. You gotta adjust, I mean,
Mm.
that shows some skill also. If you can adjust to the changes, then that shows how good of a player you are.
Mm, mm.
Unless the
Okay.
rules are totally dog shit talaga. Unless, there's always that possibility that maybe your army just gets nerfed to the ground. Then
Yeah.
sometimes no matter how good you are, then it becomes unplayable.
Um.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
But I haven't seen that happen yet, sa totoo lang. I've seen lists get nerfed, but people still win with it.
Mm. Wow, that makes sense, of course.
Mhm.
Okay,
Wasn't there
so
wasn't there this one guy that won Lance the tournament now with a very unorthodox list ng Cities of Sigmar? Now we were all wondering like how did he win this first place?
Well, first and second place was Cities of Sigmar, and yeah, there are people who bring very techie lists that no one is prepared for. So being the dark horse also has its advantage, right? Like if you bring something that's your own style, that makes sense. No one else will be prepared for that. Yeah, what you're describing is the list with a lot of knights and Wildecorp hunters. That won
Yeah,
LVO last year. That was like 300 plus players or something.
yeah, exactly. Parang ano, you know what? Your army can be so bad, but if you tech it out properly, people will get caught off guard by it talaga.
Yeah.
all right. So from the both of you, our lovely tournament placers, and with your breadth of experience, um, I want to ask for the audience, for the people watching, if anyone like aspires to place in competitions, both in terms of the game and in painting as well. What kind of words of wisdom do you have for these people?
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut
Uh,
out a bit there. Could you repeat
oh, I'm
that?
sorry. Um,
That's okay.
for people in the audience, if anyone aspires to be tournament placers or play in the big games and win the big prizes, both in game and in painting, what words of wisdom can you give to people who want to, make it big?
I think Lance is more qualified to answer this. Kasi ako, I believe already there are people up there now already.
I don't think that's true. I think that you have your perspective is just as valid, man. Like, um, for me, Warhammer is a game, right? It's fun, and I like competition because it scratches a specific itch that I have when it comes to the game. But I think that I want to quote Baki the Grappler here, and a person who works hard can never beat a person who is having fun. So if
Mm.
That's
you want to get good at anything, I think you have to first really interrogate yourself and ask yourself if you enjoy what you're doing. Because if you enjoy what you're doing, then you naturally will want to go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, and it'll get there eventually. Besides that, of course, play against people from all walks of life, from everywhere. Don't be stuck in your own circle. Don't be stuck on one idea, but also don't like
Mm.
lose the core of what makes the game fun for you. There was a time when like they wanted me to play Seraphon, but and it was a very strong army. I did very well with it, but at the same time, it was very unfun for me. So
Mm.
we, I'm glad the team let me change out of that. That's all I have to say. Just try to have as much fun as you can, because you'll naturally just do it more.
all right.
All
Nico.
right. Thank you so
Oh no,
Oh,
man.
okay.
much.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. Now my turn now.
Words of wisdom.
I don't know. I can't put Baki
Yeah.
anymore since you put Baki already. Uh, oh shit. Oh, you stole my line.
No, I
Uh,
didn't. You said I. Shut up. You were gonna speak first. You could have said that.
oh
See what is it?
no.
This is I have to keep dealing with this. Like, no, dude. You had initiative. Shut up.
Yeah,
Oh
this
no.
is
I
this is
have
some
no
skill issue
inspiration.
shit, man.
I got no inspirational thing to say except roll good. That's like my
It's the most Nico thing ever. It's okay.
No, dude. Sometimes it's true though. Sometimes it's true. Dice rolls. If you thought about it in D&D aspect, dice roll is a charisma check. If you believe hard enough, it just
Yeah, I
happens.
believe that. I believe
It
that. I
just
believe that.
happens.
It just no. But seriously though, it's a dice game in the end, right? So para sa akin, there's only so much you can do when you blame the dice. Pero wala eh. Sometimes you gotta make your own luck in the game. You have to
Yeah.
position yourself. You gotta play and prepare for the worst case
Yeah.
scenario because that happens a lot.
It's
You know what?
a very mitigating the dice kind of thing. Yeah, your dice rolls might suck, but also you kind of let yourself into that spot there where if it sucked, it
Yeah.
really sucked.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, do you want your game plan to hinge on one dice roll? Ganun ba yun? Or do you want
Yeah.
to
So increase
have
your
multiple
odds,
motives?
basically.
See,
Sorry.
lalim, no?
O,
Ang
diba?
lalim, di ba?
Kaya
Ang
mo
lalim
pala,
na
Nico, eh. Buisit to.
Oh, lalim nun ah.
See, I can be serious
Okay,
too.
so because I mean, dude, like ako personally, seeing like how you've grown as a painter, it's astounding the stuff you're doing right now.
Dude,
Yeah,
sobra. Sobra.
can you flash on screen yung Ushuran niya? Yung
Wait.
the Ushuran model that
Pusher ng ina yan, pare.
and you entered that in IPMS.
Yeah, actually. Oo. I did it for fun lang kasi it was already with the people na already sa IPMS. I'm like, yeah, might as well just enter it na lang eh. While we're there.
Look at
While we're
that.
at it.
You know, is that blood for the
Damn.
blood god sa baba? Or that's paint?
No, that's a vampire.
Yeah, he's
The blood.
Sorry,
Blood for the
Peter
blood god.
Nico's actual blood.
Yes.
it's not blood for the
Oh,
blood.
okay.
It's anong ginawa ko ba dun? So basically, I painted with matte paints lang underneath. I transitioned from kung saan yung depth, 'di ba? Kung saan yung depth. So from dark to bright
Made it darker.
with different reds. I always use Arcom paints because I love Arcom paints. Shout out to Arcom. But
Nice.
yung mukhang gloss, I actually mixed it with some resin. Tapos I let it flow through the cracks.
Okay,
lang.
para medyo thick.
Yes, oo.
Solid.
That
Solid.
makes sense.
Para medyo thick. Pero tinan mo, I mean, I don't cure yung UV resin really until it runs through the cracks talaga. And I let it smear off some of the paint to make it look more worn.
Solid.
So it's a
Actually,
lot.
what I like about what you're doing kasi is it's you're a good example of just because you're a good player or just because you're a good painter, they're not mutually exclusive to one another. If you really enjoy what you're doing, you can be good at both. That's what I like about what you're trying to show us today, Pat. Sobrang
Oh,
galing.
thanks.
Sobrang galing.
Sa totoo lang, I am a very vain person when it comes to Warhammer. Basta okay lang matalo
I
eh.
can see
Basta pogi yung army mo, di ba? Okay.
No.
Tama.
No.
You know.
I'm not letting you control the narrative this way.
Dude, alam mo,
Gusto mo
hey
kasi
man,
pogi at panalo ka eh.
you might lose, but you're gonna have the best damn models on the table. Amen.
Amen, di ba? Amen.
No. No. In this video, I'm not letting you run away with the narrative. That's not true. You want both.
I
You
want
specifically
both.
want both. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually a problem I have with practicing real life games. That's why I love TTS eh. Everything is painted. When I play in real life, pag hindi painted ang ginagamit ko, di ko nararamdam yung magic ng dice eh.
Yeah, I get that. That's
I
true.
don't feel the magic when it's not
Statistically
painted.
accurate.
That's interesting.
Dude, when I play with half painted, namamatay una yung hindi painted.
Exactly. Tinatanggal mo,
Matic.
di ba muna?
Gagi.
Kahit siya yung
Oo,
Captain Fred, tinatanggal ko na eh. Even though it's strategically bad.
Oo
I
eh.
still don't see the
Mas
board
malakas
anymore.
mag-roll yung mga painted eh.
Nung
Ganun talaga.
we had recently we had a Marvel Crisis Protocol tournament sa Unbox. And one of the top players, ang ganda ng army niya, ang ganda ng faction niya. Pero yung Hulk niya hindi painted. It was so distracting.
Hey, mind games.
It's my games.
Grey Hulk is a character, I guess. I don't know.
Surely no one will notice this gray Hulk blending in with the gray plastic. in the background.
But hey, nag-top siya. So, I mean, it kind of worked.
Oh
So,
shit.
okay.
Very nice.
Okay. So, let's move on from the let's move on now from the tournament scene and the global scene. Let's go to arguably an even more global scene because now we want to talk about this new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, fourth edition, which just launched a couple of days ago. And today, in the Philippines, as we saw a bunch of stores post, the new Skaven Tide box is finally available. So, welcome, welcome to fourth edition, everyone.
It's
Um,
about time, dude. It's about time that fourth ed came out. There
there
you
it
go,
is.
right
There
there.
it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lance, can you smell the
Look
box
at
for
that.
me?
It smells fresh. It smells like new plastic, man.
Nothing. Yeah, dude. That resin, the resin fumes.
Yeah.
That's what you pay for
Mm,
right there.
that's an eau de parfum scent right
It
there.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so real quick, as people who have played, I don't know, played AOS third edition and fourth edition, malaki yung changes. What are those changes? What remains the same? What is your
Give us an
like first thing,
overview.
like first, no, first overview, first taste, and you're like, okay, I can see this is what's happening.
Nico,
Ma-
just so that you can't say I stole your line, would you like to go first?
Okay, sure, sure.
Let's go.
All right, all right.
Eat it.
I'm gonna quote Baki right here.
Oh my god. What did Baki
Oh,
say,
Baki
Nico?
quote, I love it.
I'm gonna quote Baki again right here before he steals it. The joke now. No, fourth ed. I was not expecting Magic to be so fucking rampant right now.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. It's great. The rules are great. I just don't like Magic. I don't like hinging on dice talaga. I don't like everyone's just throwing Magic everywhere willy nilly. I'm like, fight me like a man, like, tara, suntukan na lang. No,
Wow.
but
Grabe, Magic.
Thank you.
yeah, Magic is more rampant now because endless spells in Age of Sigmar. These are these
Yeah,
models that represent spells, diba? That persist on the
yeah.
board. So these used to cost points na kasama sa list building mo. So you'd
Oo.
have to fit these in your lists sa 2,000 lists mo.
Oo,
Now,
oo.
endless spells are completely free.
What?
They're free, yeah. So ang mangyayari dito is you pick a lore, so you'll pick a certain lore, and under that lore you have a list of endless spells. That's your utility belt right there. So your wizards can cast any of those anytime without a cost.
So this also includes the faction specific
Oh.
endless spells.
Sorry?
Does this also include the faction specific endless spells like the
Yes,
Zinj
it does.
endless
But that's a
spell?
separate. The faction specific ones are a lore on their own. So, kumari, you're
Mm.
playing Sylvaneth. You can either take the Sylvaneth lore
Oo.
spells, or you can take one of the generic ones. Like Morbid Conjuration. You can take Forbidden Power. Yeah, diba it's insane.
Yep.
Now you get, if you pick one lore spell, sometimes you get up to 4 options, and you have a utility belt.
So parang barilan na yung spells. Parang baril na rin siya.
Yeah, you're still limited naman to you're still limited to like how many wizards you have in a list. It's much harder putting wizards in lists now, I guess. List building is a lot
Binaban.
different now. Parang keyword bingo ang mangyayari. Actually,
Yeah.
Lance, if you
Mm.
wanna talk about that, you could go you can take
Okay,
that right there.
so Warhammer has traditionally had a force org chart style of list building where you need one HQ and 2 troops underneath it, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want, save for a few list building restrictions. Now, what happens is the list building is tied to more tied to regiments, where you have a hero, and underneath it you can pick certain regiments to go under that hero, and they deploy together. In Age of Sigmar, that one thing that's so, admittingly, it does follow sort of the list building force org style of conquest. I think that was a big inspiration for it. Not just but and for Age of Sigmar specifically though, if you have less things to deploy than your opponent, or less drops as it's more commonly known, you can choose to go first or second. It's not on a die roll like 40k. So that completely changes things. It makes list building a lot more accessible. It's a lot easier, and it also punishes people from doing spam.
Okay.
But I think
Wait, so
it's
a
great
regiment
because
is like a set group of units already, or is it
Yeah.
a keyword?
Like for example,
Parang
pretend I have a
keyword.
bloodthirster, right? I put a bloodthirster in my list. I cannot put mortal units in the same regiment. I have to put demon units under the bloodthirster. So there are certain
Mm.
things that are themed, and certain like big unique characters can have more flexible units underneath them, for example. So yeah, list building has a bit more of a theme to it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just to expand, just to like just to name another example. Like ako, I play Cities of Sigmar, diba? It's dwarves, elves, and humans. That's like the easiest parang segregation you can get in AOS.
Mm.
If I take a
Mm.
human hero, he can only take human units with him sa regiment. Then you have about like 4 regiments or
Mm.
5 regiments yung limit mo. Parang ganun. So if you want to take a
So
dwarf,
racist list lang, racist list.
sorry,
Racist list lang, ganun.
Yeah.
parang yeah, I mean if you gotta put it that way, yeah.
We are
Yeah.
so good at getting demonetized.
Elves strong together.
Elves,
lads.
I'm saying right now, elves have no place in my lists. Just saying.
Ooh, well,
Whoa.
that's racist. But
That's racist list, right?
No, but yeah, it's keyword bingo right now. It's a lot keyword bingo right now with the list building para sa akin. So it's like, this guy can only take cavalry, so you have to take that hero to take cavalry units, or you can put them in an auxiliary unit. Auxiliary units you can take without having a regiment. Kaso, the more auxiliary units you have in your list, which like Lance mentioned, if you spam something without a hero sa regiment, you give your opponent an extra command point each round. So you're kind of like, how important are these? Now you want to reward your opponent with an extra command point each
Yeah.
round.
yeah. So
Yeah, but it looks like from a competitive scene, medyo I get how it can be controversial, but I think from a perspective of newbie, it seems like list building might be a little bit easier
In
because
a
of the
sense,
limitation.
yes. Totoo yun. The only reason why people are having a hard time with it because we're hearing about list building from people who've played third ed. So it's a lot of unlearning things eh.
Mm.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
unlearning things. But if you were a newbie to get into AOS, ikaw Louis, di ba? You mentioned that you wanted to
Mm.
try it one time.
Mm.
It sounds easier, no? Now that there's a table of it.
Yeah. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to put. I know what to collect.
Exactly. It's not just like, oh, I can mix everything in one eh. Kaya maganda yun.
Mm.
Also, do you mind if
Interesting.
I mention something else also, like if something different about fourth ed?
Yeah, go.
The
Mm.
point of entry in fourth ed is a lot cheaper now. It's
Yep.
because there's no more summoning anymore.
What do
There's
you
no
mean?
more summoning. So fourth ed, who plays fourth ed dito? Ikaw, Louis, you play fourth ed, di ba?
Danes, pare, dude. I just look at the Cities of Sigmar minis when they go to the store, and that's it. Then I go
Oh,
home.
sorry. I didn't mean fourth ed, 40k ba? Like you
Oh
play
yeah,
40K.
yeah.
So 40k
Pero
ba?
hanggang,
Yeah.
so 40K.
So 40k ba? Do you guys have summoning, yung mga demons?
Parang
strict,
wala
man.
eh. But then again, pare, hanggang 8 ed na ako naglaro eh. So, you may be talking to the wrong person.
Okay,
You know
so
what I mean?
Okay, so can I step in for a bit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
go,
so
go.
third edition is actually known as a test edition by the game developers, and it's not something
Yeah.
that they kept secret. So if you look at the way third edition rules are written, each unit has its own ability. Let's say 2 units can fight upon death. Like you kill it and it fights back. The way it is written will be different for different war scrolls. But now with fourth edition, they've streamlined it to have keywords, like what Nico said, keyword bingo. So like with Sif, when you say critical blow, it means the same thing everywhere, right? But and now if you say crit anti-cavalry +1, it means the same thing everywhere now. So
Yeah.
the rules are a lot more streamlined. You can look at a keyword, you know exactly what it is. And
Mm.
another big thing that's different from third and fourth that Nico mentioned is that like there's no more summoning. For context, when I play Blades of Corn, I have to have an entire sideboard of demons to summon for whenever I get more summoning points or blood tithe, right? In fourth edition, they completely got rid of that. So and there's a point increase. I would argue that Warhammer Age of Sigmar is the cheapest it's ever been to get into right now. Like
Plus the point hikes.
yeah, the point hikes are significant. Like some armies didn't get them as much, like cities or Night Hunt, right? They're still kind of hoardy, but
The
Skaven,
smaller model
Blades of
count.
Corn, yeah, Blades of Corn, like all the Chaos factions are cheaper now. Soulblight Gravelords is cheaper now because you can't just randomly summon. Like, actually, not Soulblight. That's a bad example. Sorry. Like all the chaos ones are cheaper now. You can't summon stuff with Seraphon anymore, and like Skaven Tide's actually a really good, hopefully a good direction, good indicator of the direction they're going, because this is the most value for peso box they've ever released. Before this, it was a Vanguard box from the Ogre Maw tribes. It was around 6,800 pesos for like 900-ish points, right? But this Skaven Tide box is like 12,500, and it comes with two 1,200 point armies. So 1,200 points of Stormcast, 1,200 points of Skaven, rule books, and like terrain. That's absurd.
Yeah, the terrain is important. For me, I think for me, nag-boost yung value niya because of the terrain. Because,
Well,
di ba?
It's for me. It's I've never seen a deal where you could buy 1,200 point army for like maybe around 6K. That's insane. Before
Yeah,
that, were the
totally.
battle forces. You spent around maybe 10K for 1,000 points, and that felt fair. This is insane value. Plus, everything went up in price. So, if you want to buy an army, you don't have to buy as much as you used to for third edition.
Yeah.
So good direction si fourth overall.
And they're no,
Competitive
and they're supplementing it. They're supplementing it with the new spearheads, tama ba? Vanguard spearhead boxes.
Right. So spearheads are basically just rebranded Vanguard boxes, and they have a new game
Combat
mode called
Patrol lang.
called Spearhead. So it's a little different from Combat Patrol, I think, in that I think it's a lot more well received. But I'm about to play my first game of Spearhead this weekend. But people who I know have played it said they had fun, and we'll see whether it's going to be a viable format. Only time can really tell. But it is a good entry point for the game, because a lot of the units in the Spearhead boxes tend to be very, for the non-elf factions anyway, tend to be very good.
Sabi nila daw spearhead can be a coffee, parang coffee hammer.
Yeah.
Or
I
like
can
Coffee
see-
hammer. That's a
I can
cool
see-
concept.
I can see me and Nico playing a Spearhead game in like 45 minutes once we get the hang of the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very
Okay.
chill. Yeah. If you guys want to ever get into AOS, I would recommend you give that a try first. It's a good gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should talk about your event this weekend already, since you mentioned it already, and we're talking about gateway drugs. I mean, gateway into
Yeah.
the hobby. Perfect
Gateway plastic.
weekend event.
So
Yeah.
this coming weekend, we are going to be celebrating Age of Sigmar Day in Whimsy Cafe, a newly
Let's go,
open
Whimsy!
cafe. A newly open cafe
Shout out Whimsy.
that is owned
I'm-
by our friends JP and Julie. And
Woo!
I will be teaching some Warhammer. Me and Nico and the others will be teaching some Warhammer demos, whether it's Spearhead or the main game, and people will be showing up to play their very first fourth ed game. So if you want to show up, bathe in the atmosphere of the growing Age of Sigmar community, and just learn at the same pace as everyone else, then come by this Saturday at Whimsy Cafe. It's gonna be great.
Guys, don't forget
No army,
when you
just
when you
bring
show
yourself.
up. Sorry.
You just have to bring yourself.
Yeah, just bring yourself. If
Yeah.
you don't have a spearhead, we have a lot of spear. I mean, we can always let people borrow our spearheads to give it a try, diba?
Yeah, I know Dennis is bringing a few. I myself am bringing Soul Blight and Corn Spearheads for people who want to try.
I'm bringing cities of Sigmar, ikaw, Louie, if you want to show up.
Oh, and
Fully
speaking of which,
painted. Fully
lots of
painted.
raffles. Lots of raffles as well. So yeah, if you guys want to show up, and and good company, lots of raffles and good company. So yeah,
Pero
We'd love to see you guys.
speaking of events now, I kind of want to ask, what is your expectation for all the new people coming in? How do you expect this game to impact the, especially with how well
What's the goal?
Warhammer has been doing lately, especially locally? How do you expect this? How do you expect the newbies to receive this game? And how do you expect it to change? I guess yung meta locally.
Okay, so this is something that I have not been shy about talking about. One of the things that I would really like to see, and one of the things I love seeing about a lot of the new energy that's coming in, is that some of them are eager and curious to run their own events. I think that while I'm very proud of what Wartilyo has accomplished up to this point for the past 3 years, I think it's unhealthy if we're the only ones who run events. And I really want to see other people do it. People can probably even do it better than us, because it's not good to be stuck, for us to be stuck in our ways. It's good for us to learn from other people as well on how they do things better. Like even from like just watching the 40K tournaments, I'm learning a lot about event management. So I think a lot of people are gonna come in. A lot of the stores are bringing in new companies, and I can't wait to see the new players, and I can't wait to learn from them.
Yeah, dude. And hopefully, like when people start running their events, it would be so great na, alam mo yung magiging self-sustaining na yung community, di ba? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's doing their own thing, everyone's running their own
Mm.
thing na,
Pass on the torch na kayo, parang ganun.
Yeah,
yes,
no.
oo.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts
Um.
forever kasi eh. I mean, nothing lasts forever. We're getting older, lalo pa si Lance. He's kind of in the No,
I
but
mean-
Are you getting a
Yeah,
kid
I
soon,
know.
Lance? Getting a kid?
Oh man, you sound like my dad. No. Not in the cards right now, but uh, I agree. I think that the healthiest kind of community that you can build is one that can exist without you. So, like, I really just hope that I'm excited for other people to step up, and I want to be able to support them as well. Like, if you're interested in running Age of Sigmar events, anyone who's watching, and if you're just shy about like some of the terrain and mats and stuff, or just don't know how to get started, you can reach out to any of us, join our Discord, and we'd love to help you get started, and show you the ropes.
yeah, we can even offer to help, diba? With not just advice,
Yeah.
but if kailangan nyo ng TOs sa tournaments nyo, we're down to step
Well,
in if we have
yeah.
time. Oh,
Yeah, but ideally UTO the tournament. They'll be the TOs, and we just
yeah, head
help with
TO.
some of the material stuff. Like we help people out by a Nihan style. Whenever someone needs help for an event, we pitch in. That would be great.
You
Yeah,
give the blueprint and then you guide them to experience making their own event. Parang
And
ganun.
then they will make it better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo.
One of the things
Everyone
I
will-
really look forward. Sorry, go.
Yeah, go. No, it's okay. It's okay.
One of the things I really look forward to when I meet new players and I meet new people doing something new is like I often find that because they haven't gotten all of the bad habits that I've gotten, they tend to think of things that I wouldn't have thought of, and I learn something from that, and I love that.
That's how you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you so much for that, you guys. So let's close this thing off. No, you mentioned this weekend you guys have a welcome to 4th edition event over at Whimsy. No, shout out to Whimsy. So
Yeah, they're gonna make edible dice soon, I hope.
oo nga, tama,
Guys,
tama. Edible
Guys,
dice.
when you guys go to Whimsy Cafe, don't forget to look for Julie. She's the short owner ng Whimsy Cafe. Look her straight in the face and say, "Have a whimsical day," bago kayo umalis. Yan yung catchphrase
Yeah,
nila.
and ask for the
Yeah.
edible dice. Ask
Then
to
you can
make
ask
it
for
regular.
edible dice.
She
Yes.
she loves it when you do that.
Demand her to start making edible dice.
Okay,
She loves
so
when you
I
say,
will
"Have a
screenshot
whimsical day."
this video.
No, like
Para
every
may
like
proof.
she loves talking about her edible dice. Like that's her number one thing that she wants to do ever, all the
Exactly,
time.
I'll be sure to ask her that when I drop by. So
Can
other
someone
than
type it down sa chat para makita ng mga tao? Have a
Oo nga,
whimsical
guys.
day.
Type the chat, please. Edible dice.
Have a whimsical day. Hashtag Whimsy
Um,
Cafe.
Yeah, actually make it a hashtag, Kaya, if you can just post the hashtag in there.
Ayan,
Leave it
yeah.
up there.
I will message Julie right now. Hashtag
Actually,
edible
just
Hashtag
dice
have a whimsical
and hashtag have a whimsical day.
Message us
Yeah,
separately
so-
na.
Sorry, can I highlight another event after this one?
Sure,
Sure,
please.
go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay, so this is not by Wartilyo. This is actually by an organization called War Game with Us, which is led by Eric Lichnowsky, a very good friend of ours. And I think that it is going to be on the 27th of July, and it'll be held at the Dragon Forge. If you ever want to get your chance to try out Spearhead and play some games with some very lovely people, I highly recommend you guys can go to that one as well.
Dragon Forge din. Sige.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lance and Nico. But kami over here at Philippine TADOs, we also have a couple of events lined up. So why don't we get into that? Speaking of Whimsy Game Cafe, Kaizen, if you would please share the poster on
Yes, wait.
the
I'm
poster.
slowly doing it. Give me a
that's the drive.
moment. Wait, no.
How about whimsical day?
Wait,
Julie, are you
mali-
on the
mali-
stream? I message you on Facebook, Julie. Check your PM.
Yeah, I messaged Julie too. Check out our
Julie.
drive.
I have a feeling Julie will hate it.
There we go. So,
And
for everyone interested, this July 28th, we over here at
Julie
Philippine Tados
28.
will be having our first miniature painting workshop with Whimsy Game Cafe. So it will be
Woo!
on the 28th. We have a bunch of slots open. No, you'll get a miniature. You will get a exclusive drink that Julie said she's going to make for this event. Uh, and we plan on calling it paint water. So I don't know how that's gonna taste, but we'll see. We'll
yeah,
see
that'll
if
be
it's
fun.
fair. Uh,
It's
it's not
spoilers. Spoilers. It's literally your paint water mixed with a little
Yeah.
corn syrup and
precisely.
cornstarch.
Yeah,
Starchy.
para matamis.
So yeah, it's gonna be on the 28th. You'll get a miniature. You'll get to use all of the paints, brushes, and tools that we'll bring. You get a drink as well for your for your refreshments. And yeah, it'll just be a great time to finally do a workshop with them after talking to them for so long. So yeah, we'll catch you guys on the 28th if you guys are interested. But after that, let's move on to a bit of a special announcement from our friends over at Banky. No, so for the Tados who have been joining us, unfortunately I don't have a poster for this because they literally just to us.
Yeah,
But
this is news to us
um,
as well.
for our specifically for our Philippine Tados members, do you remember a few months ago we had multiple collaborations with Banky where um we painted the 10th edition box ng 40K as well as the Kill Team box. Well, it's Age of Sigmar season and we are once again doing it. So
Yeah.
Banky will
Yeah.
once again be collaborating with Philippine Tados. We will be hiring commission painters from Philippine Tados to paint the new Scaventide box. You will be paid for this. This is commission work. So this is an actual job. And your works will be displayed over at Opus, the new Opus Mall. Has anyone ever been to the new Opus Mall? Because I keep hearing about it. I've never seen it.
It's
I've never
empty, but it's
heard
beautiful.
about it.
It's like a spaceship.
Diba? Like I keep seeing posts, but I'm like, why have I never like actually seen it? But ayun, we're going to be displaying. They're going to be displaying it over at Opus Mall. So if ever you're interested, stay tuned over at the Philippine Tados group and page to see how you can join and how you can possibly paint one of the figures or one of the squads of the figures from Skaven Tide. All right. Finally, we have perhaps the a very very important announcement from us over at Philippine Tados, and this comes straight from the heart, admins. Kaizen, if you would, the poster. It's in the Google Drive.
Wait, sorry. Too many screens.
Oh, that's totally fine. Totally
Special
fine.
announcement.
Why is
A very
Louis
By
special.
nostril.
Oh, God, Louis, come on, man. That's,
Have a
Louis,
whimsical,
why?
have a whimsical day.
yeah, have a whimsical day, everyone.
Have a whimsical
Have a
day,
whimsical
everyone.
day.
You know, Nico, we should close our videos with that statement.
By the announcement.
Okay, so ayun, guys. O nga pala, it's 2024. Philippine Tados is turning 5 years old.
Yay!
Wow, it's been 5 years.
Freaking
So, because of that, we will be having a very special stream on the 20th.
Yes.
We're also going to announce a very special event that I'm sure most of you already know about, but we want to make it official. And so, yeah, catch us on the 28th to see what exactly the stream is going to be about. And, in advance, we want to thank you guys for being with us over the past 5 years and, helping us grow our community, helping yourselves grow your hobbies with all of the people you've met, all the friendships and bonds you've forged over the past 5 years. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see
5 years. Still
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
strong.
28.
Yeah.
I think that's it on our end. Any parting words from you guys?
Happy anniversary, guys! Damn, congrats on
Happy
5 years.
Yeah.
Anniversary, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
super strong.
crazy.
Kahit ano, umulan, bumagyo, Philippine TADO has been here. And that is amazing.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh,
Uh,
mag-1 year
Aprons
na
are still for
ako as an
sale.
admin.
FYI, you
Wait,
guys can
that
still buy
reminds me.
aprons.
Wait a minute. That reminds me. Speaking
What?
of, Kaizen, happy birthday!
Oh,
Oh my
yeah, it's
God!
Oh,
tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, I thought I
Oh
missed
my
it. Happy
God!
birthday.
Happy birthday, dude!
Oh my
Oh,
God!
I'll greet you tomorrow.
Thank,
It's fine.
thank, thank you
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Simple lang yung birthday wish ko, more paints. It's not that
More
hard.
Yeah,
paints.
and order or message Kaizen. Tell her you want to order the apron. Order
Yes,
apron.
yeah.
Apron. So guys,
Open pa yung ano
comment
natin.
comment down below. Have a whimsical birthday, guys.
Have a whimsical
Yeah.
birthday.
It's a whimsical
Really
birthday.
Oh,
birthday.
God.
Eh, celebrate
Alright.
yung 1 year
What-
anniversary ko sa
what have
Philippine
we
TADOS.
done?
Ano ba yan?
Mm.
Oh, Julie's gonna love me for this.
Yeah, highlight natin. Ay, wait, wrong post.
Someone's locked in your basement, Lance. Are they okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, I
so,
forgot to feed them.
yeah.
I forgot to feed them again. Sorry. Yeah. I'll feed them later. I'll
Okay.
feed the basement goblin.
Thanks
Okay.
for
yeah,
joining
guys,
us,
I think
Lance and Nico.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty
Well,
much
thank you guys so much for joining
Yeah.
us today. Thank you so much, Wartilyo, Lance, and Nico for joining us. And we'll catch you guys in our future events.
Yep.
All right.
Yay! See
Halapin
you
tayo.
next
Halapin tayo,
Monday!